world? Welcome back to another edition, Study the Bible, Not the Sermon. And this is the things that make you go, Thursdays. Right? And I am the originator, the initiator of that line of thought. And they call me the locksmith because knowledge is the key. Right? So let's go ahead, unlock some doors. Keys open doors. It is Thursday, and I appreciate you checking me out. And today we want to talk about being a Hebrew Israelite, because it's a lot of people that claim true, but it's a lot more people that have no clue, and yet they place judgment on things they don't even know about. So first things first, just to get straight off the bat, being a Hebrew Israelite is not a matter of choice. Similarly, in the same way that me choosing to be black is not a matter of choice. Hebrew Israelite is a race, not a religion. It is an ethnicity, not a theology. All right, so let that be understood first. So therefore, just like with black people, if you ride through the hood and you see a bunch of young dudes on the corner and they got guns and they selling drugs and they doing whatever else they do on the corner, you don't automatically attribute that to all. See somebody like me, collar shirt, you know what I mean, trying to fit in with the Gentiles, get along and, maintain until the Lord come back. I don't fit the bill of those people. And not just because of how I look, but just because that all black people aren't the same. And so likewise, I want to encourage anybody that's ever heard me call myself an Israelite to not assume that I'm like these other guys that walk around looking like they got, Moses' robe on, looking like they came straight out of Dubai. All right? Because it's a race, not a religion. So they can say they're Israelite and then turn around and be an axe murderer. Right? That doesn't make them a liar. Feel me? Hebrew Israelites more like a concept, more like a way of life, understanding of the world, right? Black people understand America different than how majority of white people do. Feel me? So, therefore, just because you see a black man on the screen in front of you, right, does not mean that if you pass me the rock, I'll be able to shoot the J or give and go and then finish the play and one. Feel me? The Honorable Elijah Mohammed used to say that white people was devils. And even when he said that, nobody believed that all black people thought that, even though he was definitely black. And he was a leader of a black organization, a huge organization. At one time, probably one of the largest black organizations, and still nobody thought that all black people felt like all white people were devils. Right? Likewise, there's some Hebrew Israelites running around town now talking about all white people are devils, and they create memes and all kind of crazy stuff. Right? And again, that doesn't make all Hebrew Israelites racist, right? Because it's a bloodline, understand? Right? These Israelites that walk around calling white people devils, you'll know them because usually they look like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Right? They got all kind of garments on and tapestries and all type of stuff. And I'm not going to really get into that and the significance or insignificance of that. But, if you just looked at them on face value, you think they reading the Quran. All right? So, brother like me, straight Bible, straight Christian, right? Hashtag original Christian. So, let's get into some proofs, because we want to talk about why I'm an Israelite. I mean, I'm an Israelite because my daddy was Israelite, and he's an Israelite because his daddy was Israelite, right? My family tree, I can trace it back to right after slavery, okay? But what we want to do, we want to deal with these proofs, and these proofs of me being an Israelite is the exact same proofs that disprove anybody else in this hemisphere as being a descendant of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Right? So that means that Anybody else living in North America, South America, Central America, claiming to be an Israelite, after we read this, I'm going to let you decide if they telling the truth or not. Because a lot of Israelites trying to hand off their ethnicity to a lot of other randoms, right? But let's we'll get into that. Let's flip over to Deuteronomy 28. Got my book here, right? Because this is a Israelite's favorite chapter to prove something, right? Not the only chapter, just the favorite one, right? Because it's a lot going on in here. Let's do Deuteronomy 28, and let's kick this off at verse 20. And I'm gonna have my illustrious reader read for me. Mr. Reader, when you get it, go ahead and
the Lord
read.
Shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings.
So the Lord, it says, is going to send this vexation, not the Gentiles, not the white man, right? And everything that you try to do, you're going to fail until you be destroyed. Now you just go do your history, because I'm a historian. So, I've already done it. You go run to Google, check your history of all the black people that tried to do stuff, and even the white people that tried to help us do stuff along the way, right? And what happened? It all came to nothing, right? Skip down to verse 25. Verse 25. Skip down to verse 25 and continue. Go ahead.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them.
What?
And shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
So you're going to go out against your enemies one way, and they're going to flee. You're going to go out one way, and you're going to flee 7 ways. You can go check the middle passage and check that happening, and a lot of other times in history. But the most important thing here says that you will be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. 2 things that a lot of Hebrew Israelites miss right there. The first thing is remove. Remove. It means that you didn't go there by yourself. You didn't go there because you felt like it. Okay? And then, so that means anybody came to this hemisphere who wasn't removed here is not Israelite. That's so simple. And then secondly, it says that the children of Israel are going to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Not just the United States. Not just the United States and the Caribbean. Not just North America. All the kingdoms of the earth. And they got removed there. None of them went there because they wanted to. Alright? Let's skip down. Let's skip down to verse 27. Pick it up at verse 27 and go ahead.
The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed.
Well, if you check out the statistics for diseases and STDs and heart disease, lung disease, cancers, the children of Israel, African Americans, we lead the league in all of those things. Right? Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Who on the earth that walks around mad and blind? Go ahead.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
Why not?
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
So you will only be see these words are important. Okay, only means that it's no other way. This thing says only oppressed and spoiled. Now, just the people watching this video, you think about your life. Okay, and maybe you was well-to-do, so think about the plight of your people. Maybe your family. Just the people that you related to. Right? Only oppressed and spoiled. How many other people that call themselves Jews can say that they've been only oppressed and spoiled? Just in this country. Right, let's do verse 36. Skip down to verse 36 and pick it up.
The Lord shall bring thee, and thy king which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
I know a lot of people want to read past that like they don't get it. They never worshiped a tree or a rock. It's like, no. If you go and Google everything that you call holy, every emblem on your car, around your neck, everything that you call holy, and you run it back, every symbolism, and you're going to run back into a tree or a rock. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. Pick it up.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Now that's important right there. I want everybody for homework go look up the word astonishment, right? When people see you, or when they see me, or when they see us, or when they see those dudes I was talking about on the corner, they ride by in astonishment. Like, how can these people live like that? It's or a proverb or a byword. Proverb is a clever saying. The children of the curse. You know what I'm saying? What was the other one? A byword, right? Something other than your name, right? Like African American, right? Africa's a continent, and so is America, right? Call me N-word, Negro, Afro-American, black, colored, coon, all that kind of stuff, right? Bywords. None of it is who I am. And then when I try to tell you who I am, you can't even understand that it's a race, not a religion. Imagine that. Imagine that. All right, let's skip down to verse 64 and pick it up. All right, 28 and 64. Come on with it.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Keep telling you about this wood and stone, because the whole world is worshiping after wood and stone. But it says the Lord will scatter thee. Remember we was just talking about remove? Now scatter. Same kind of thing. You won't go there on your own. You won't go there seeking a better life. You're going to be scattered. Just like when you hit the lights and roaches scatter. Same kind of thing. One end to the other end of the earth. Not just all in the United States, some in Haiti and Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. No! One end of the earth to the other end. That means you can find traces of Israelites in Japan. That means children of Israel, Danites, are in Ethiopia. You got the Gadites in Nigeria, Ghana, I don't remember. You understand what I'm saying? You got children of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the Western Hemisphere. That's all over the world. Go do some research. Stop listening to these Power Rangers. All right? Now, we almost out of here. Skip down to verse 66 and pick it up. Verse 66, first, the wood and stone thing again. The people in the Bible didn't know nothing about Christmas or Easter or going to heaven or wearing crosses around your neck. That's wood and stone. Your fathers didn't know nothing about that. But yeah, go ahead, skip down to 66 and let's keep it going. Come on with it.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
You check out the news not too long for the not too long past, future, present, and not too much not too much assurance of my life, especially if I get pulled over. I mean, I could be sitting there with my kids and my lady, and I could be following the law, licensed to carry, and still none assurance of my life. All right, children of Israel status. Right now, I didn't read the whole chapter for the sake of time. Right, and the time is still running away from me. But you should definitely read the whole chapter and see what we could have been if we would have listened in the first 15 verses, and what we are now because we didn't listen in the verses following verse 15. Right now, lastly, I want to read something that's going to solidify 2016. Isaiah chapter 3. And we're going to start reading this at verse 1. And when you get it, go ahead and read it. Come on with it.
Isaiah 3. For behold, the Lord of hosts, take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
Yeah.
The mighty man and the man of war, the judge, and the prophet, and the prudent, and the ancient.
So this is talking about the Lord of hosts, and he's taken away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stand, the staff, the bread, and the water. Right, so this is the taking down of Judah and Jerusalem. So if you didn't know, the chapter 28, which one happened? The blessings or the cursings. Right, this is the Lord taking them down here. All right, so let's skip down to verse 4. Yeah, skip down to verse 4 and pick it up. Come on with it.
And I will give children to be their princes, and the babes shall rule over them.
So remember who we talking about here. We talking about Jerusalem and Judah. It says that he's going to give children to be their prince. Remember, the prince is a ruler. And it says women will be their oppressors. Now, if you know anything about African Americans in America, old folks will tell you they scared to keep kids in line. They scared to correct kids on the train. Kids walk up cussing and smoking and drinking, and the old folks sit there like they little kids and look out the window and hope and pray that the little kids don't bother them. Right? I mean, you can even go ask one of the tough dope boys from my age bracket, and they'll tell you, boy, the young homies run the streets. Right? No gang leaders. Nobody over 25 outside. You understand? And it says women will be their oppressors. Right? They say, no, children will be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Right? Little kids, you tell a little kid, talking about a little kid, 3-year-old, tell a little kid, sit down, come here, be quiet, and he'll turn around, or she'll turn around, look at him and say, I'm grown. Might cuss you out. 3-year-olds can't even talk, can't barely stand, can't feed themselves. Right? Where we at? Verse 4? No, we on verse 5. Go ahead and continue. Pick it up. Come on with it.
People shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable.
Pride against the ancient and against the honorable. You said it. A smart person get up and say something, and people act like they on him. That smart person go find somebody with gold chain, a cup of lean, maybe even a white person to stand behind them, and everybody's all it is. Yes, sir. Let's finish this off. Skip down to verse 12 and pick it up. Come on with it, Mr. Reader. Come on with it.
Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him. For they shall eat the fruit of their doing.
Amen.
Woe unto the wicked.
Whoa.
It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people,
what about your people?
Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
And you would like to think that this could be talking about any nation or all nations, but I would challenge you to find another nation on earth, including the people that call themselves Jews, including the Mexicans and the Native Americans and whoever else they trying to say is the children of Israel. This thing, verse 12 is it. Children, their oppressors, women rule over them. All right, you could turn on any court show and see a woman taking a man for everything, and he's brought to a piece of bread. Right? Even in my own family personally, all the dudes I know getting taken care of by some woman. And I mean, you can have your opinion about that all you want to, but I didn't say that he was going half with it. I said he's being taken care of. Facts. And then it says, my people, they which lead thee cause you to err. Right? Again, find me another people on the earth that if the leaders say, hey, you should stay high every day, and every time you get paid, you should go throw it in the air. And if you don't throw it in the air, you should go find some person who hates you, who would never give you a job, and go give them all your money. That's my people. Children of Israel. All day. Right? So, Hebrew Israelites, race not a religion. These are only a few of the curses, just a few of the biblical proofs on how to know children of Israel. Notice that most of what I read is about how terrible the people are, and how hard-headed they are, and how unrighteous they are. Are. Therefore, If you ever see somebody claim to be Hebrew Israelite and them suckers are puffed up, puffing themselves up as if they some great thing, maybe you should read some of these things that I just read. Right? Because clearly they haven't been reading it. Even though this is how they know they Israelites, clearly they haven't been reading this. Because it's nothing boastful in what I just read. Right? How the children of Israel began in Deuteronomy chapter 4. And because of God, now we have so little. And exactly whose fault is it that God sent us into slavery? That God sent us into Jim Crow? That the Most High sent us into mass incarceration? I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my ethnicity and who I am. But when I think about where we come from and how God showed himself to my ancestors, I'm also a little embarrassed. A little bit embarrassed to call myself a Hebrew Israelite. Because my people are so stiff-necked and hard-headed. All the way down to this day. We are here in America because we didn't keep the law. And now people want to break the law and call themselves Israelites still. So, all of you Hebrew Israelites out there need to slow down. Because if the Gentiles really, really knew what this life could have been like, read Deuteronomy 4. This is supposed to be a utopia. But because you messed up, because we messed up, because they messed up, because all of us messed up, the world is in shambles. If Gentiles really knew that, they'd probably bring the hammer down hard on you. So you need to slow down, fall back, hit your knees, holler at your God, keep the commandments, testimony of Jesus Christ, and maybe, just maybe, you know what I'm saying, he'll be your sanctuary. And the Gentiles won't really understand how much you jammed up the whole world. A lot of people don't think about that. I think a lot of Israelites should start thinking about that. How this thing could have been right and you jammed it up. Alright? So, I'm going to post Deuteronomy 4 in the not the comments, what you call that? The description. So that you can check that out for all you Israelites that never read it. And because I'm about out of time right now, I got to get on about my day. Sun blazing through. Things that make you go, when was the last time you heard an Israelite tell you his faults? The faults of his people. And what God did to them as a result of his faults. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Things that make you go, this is the locksmith. Knowledge is the key. 1.